This is the Traders Exclusive Live Trader Showcase for March 2024. This is a quarterly event where we feature expert traders to bring you training and insights from 20 different expert traders. So please check out tradersexclusive.com, where we regularly post articles and video clips with valuable trading tips and techniques. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. So I want to thank you all for being with us again. I'd like to introduce Marina, the Trader Chick Villatoro. Thanks for joining us.
Well, hi, everybody. And thanks so much, Sherry, for having me. And I actually really enjoy chatting with you. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And I'm coming for you guys right now from Lisbon, Portugal. And it's actually kind of funny. Me and my parents are here visiting and kind of like celebrating my mom's birthday, my father's birthday, stuff like that. And we got on a trolley. And I don't know if anybody has ever been to Lisbon. So there are some streets that it's only literally room for the trolley. Like you literally cannot even enter your house until the trolley passes. And some guy parked where the trolley was. And I kid you not, we were stuck for 1 hour sitting. The guy was beeping like crazy. And we started to stress out that I would not make it here in time. So me and my parents just literally jumped off that trolley. Well, it didn't jump off, it was going nowhere, and ended up taking metros and all this. So it became like a really great adventure to get home for me to present. So now I am here presenting, and it was an adventure, and I'm so grateful for it because that was actually the funnest part of the day. There you go. Usually, you know, when you do like these crazy things and these really weird things happen, that's usually what you remember the most. And that's going to definitely be on our top list. So I am here to present for you guys. I am Marina, the Trader Chick. And here I am. That is me. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about understanding what you are actually doing when you are entering the market. Because let's face it, guys, I could sit here and tell you all about my profits, all about the great entries, all about whatever. But if you have no idea how to turn your car on and you're going to try and follow along, the reality is, and I'm going to give it to you straight, you're going to fail and you're going to end up losing money. And at this point, I've now been doing this for 12 years. So I'm just going to lay it straight for you guys. If you don't understand what you are doing and just sitting in some chat rooms and listening to some alerts, I will guarantee you, I will actually bet the farm, you will end up losing all of your money and your account several times. And I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic, because a lot of people don't tell you the realistic stuff, right? They tell you about the Ferraris that they're driving. But the reality is, if you don't even understand what a buy or a sell is, what the difference between investing and trading is, unfortunately, it's never going to happen, right? And a lot of times what happens is, especially with the financial markets, that people it's the easiest market to just get into, right? There's zero barrier to entry. Even something as basic as driving a car, you at one point have to sit down and learn where's the clutch, where's the gear, where's the brakes, where's the windshield wiper, where are the lights, right? But with trading, financial markets, nobody's teaching you that. And I can guarantee you, half of you guys are going to be like, I'm not even going to listen to this because I don't need to know this. I have enough money to go and invest or go and put into the market. Great. Do your thing. But you'll remember me when that money is lost, because if you don't know how to turn your car on, and that means even looking at your chart and understanding, you're not going to be able to do it. So quite frankly, what I'm going to teach you guys is probably going to be the only reason you can actually really make money in the market, and certainly keep yourselves out of anything that you do not understand. So if you're really interested in really understanding how to do the market rather than just listening to somebody do it for you, you know, I get daily emails. Oh, I want to be in a live chat room. Do you tell us alerts? Do you give us entries? I'm like, okay, well, let's pretend you're going to enter here. Do you know why you're entering? I know why I'm entering, but by the time you're going to try and figure out why you're entering there, that trade is going to already leave, leaving you to chase your trade and to run after it, right? So what happens then? You end up losing your money and all goes bad, right? So maybe for once instead, let's now focus on how to really understand what the market is about. And I can also bet the farm that if you do, that's when you're going to start to actually earn money. So you decide, because trading is all about decisions. It's about making the right decisions or the wrong decisions. And 90% of the times we make the wrong decisions thinking, well, I've got a couple of $1,000. I know I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. That's what the majority of people think without even understanding what they're doing. So that's a bad decision. So a good decision is, oh, I have a couple of $1,000 that I can invest or trade. I'm first going to learn how to do it. And that's a good decision. So that is up to you. You are sitting here. You could decide, do you want to actually learn how to do this, or do you want to just go for that next chat room, that next, somebody telling you alerts? The majority of the alerts that are being told is usually the people have already been into them already. They've already gotten them. And by the time you get the alert, it's several hours later, and you've most definitely missed it. Just my 2 cents. And after 12 years of being in this industry, I can guarantee you I'm correct. It's just one of those things because I've been there, done that, lost a lot, and I've also earned a lot. So let's begin. First and foremost, I am Marina, and as Sherry was saying, I am an expat living in Barcelona. I have now been an expat for over 20 years. We had lived first in Costa Rica, then Guatemala, and a year and a half ago, we moved to Barcelona. Greatest decision of our lives to be expats. I cannot recommend it more than anything in the world for somebody to go and move in a country that is not your own. But that's a whole other story. And you could trade from anywhere you live. That's also the beauty of trading. The other beauty of trading is that you could come from any walk of life. I was a fitness instructor before I became a day trader. There you go. So you guys could certainly do it just the same. And you could do it from anywhere in the world. So let's talk about trading, okay? And why is it not investing? Because I don't know about you guys, but whenever I tell people, hey, I'm a day trader, this is the answer I get. Oh yeah, I really want to learn how to invest. And I always tell people, I trade to invest. They are not the same thing. So why is that? Because unlike investing with day trading, you don't want to diversify. When you hear people tell you that they are trading in all these markets, I can guarantee that they are probably not really earning anything. They are spread too thin. You cannot drive 4 different vehicles at the same time on 4 different terrains. That's the reality, right? So to be a professional day trader, the less you diversify, the better. Because it's exactly like this scenario. Imagine your child comes up to you and they're like, hey, mama, papa, I want to learn how to play a musical instrument. And you're like, great, which instrument? I want to learn how to play the piano, the flute, the violin, and the drums. And you're looking at them and you're like, well, they're really different. How about we focus on just the one, right? Because if you master that one, I can guarantee you, you'll be able to do well. If you master the one instrument in trading, you might not even want to go and learn how to do others. The only time people are talking about many others is because they're not really earning in that one, okay? And that's the reality. So investing also is a really big component in loving the company that you are investing in, right? What does that mean? If Apple is coming out with an iPhone 800,000, whatever number they're at, you want to sit it through because chances are it's going to be a successful hit. It's a good deal. So you don't mind if it goes up or down. But if I'm a day trader, do I really care about the iPhone that's coming out in 3 months? No, I want to see what's in front of me right now. I don't really care because day traders make just as much money on the way up as they do on the way down, probably more on the way down. So let's bust some myths also because I get a lot of these questions and I'm just going to get through this right now. Day trading is gambling. Like I said, the people that are probably trading in 8 different markets with 100 different instruments, they're not really doing it, right? They're just throwing money at the market, or as I like to say, donating money to the market. Or people who have absolutely no idea and are sitting in some chat room, alert room, whatever, and putting their money in, listening to somebody. 90% of the time, it's usually moderators who don't even know how to trade. Just saying, right? And of course, that's going to be risky. It's literally hopping into a car, not having any idea how to turn it on, somehow miraculously turning it on, and putting your car into drive and going without having any idea how, and getting on the highway, and you're going to get reamed. That's gambling, right? You're not going to say that, oh, driving is gambling, because with driving, we usually go through a process. You have to learn how to drive. You have to take a driving exam. There's quite a few barriers before you could just risk your life in a car, right? Same thing with money in the day trading market. If you actually sit down and be like, you know what? I'm going to be an adult about this. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm actually going to learn how to do this, rather than just think that you're going to be that next millionaire, because, you know, if it was that easy, we'd all be doing it, right? And that you need $25,000 to get started. No, you can start with $500. The only reason people here have this misconception is they think that if you have $25,000, the broker allows you to then open up a margin account. Okay, what is a margin account? I'm going to get to that in a bit, but it's literally loan sharking, right? Do you know what that means, loan sharking? It means borrowing money from the mob and then having to pay excruciating amount back on top of an interest, okay? And I love this, that I have to come from a math background, financial background, economics background, all these backgrounds. Here's the reality, guys. You don't. Right? I don't have anything to do with math. I literally have to take out the calculator to do my own profits and losses, right? That's because you don't need it. It has nothing to do with math whatsoever, and that is stressful. Well, again, whoever is feeding us these lies that we're going to sit in front of 10 different monitors, that's exactly what they're doing. They're lying to you. Why? Because a human brain is completely not capable of this. It's so unsustainable. One chart, that's all I have. One chart, two indicators. I am not going to go into like completely crazy mode seeing this, because this cannot stress you out enough. Like, you will have massive stress attacks and panic attacks and analysis paralysis. And the other thing is, you will constantly hear people trying to sell you their softwares, indicators, algorithms. The only people making money from that are the ones selling it to you. Not a single person. And at this point, I have had thousands of clients, and I have met thousands of people who want to trade, and not one of them will ever tell me that any of those work. The only software you need to buy is a charting software. And today, there are so many good ones, and the majority of them are free. Just saying. You don't need anything else. As long as your charting software gives you universal indicators, you're golden. And research and news. Oh, you gotta love these people who, you know, pretend to trade equities. They wake up at 4:30 in the morning doing all this research, then sit for 8 hours in front of the markets, completely stressed, zoned out, sleep deprived, not understanding what's going on, because usually it has nothing to do with what's actually happening in front of you. Because, you know, if the president of one company is caught, you know, having an affair with somebody, nothing to do with the stock, but all of a sudden the stock tanks, even though the stock is doing well, you can't control that. And then after, they sit for another 2 hours trying to review why they failed. Look, guys, technical analysis is all you'll ever need. You do not need to do any research. Boom, I'm in and out of the markets within 1 hour, no research, because my charts tell it like it is. I don't need to know who is doing what, because it's never about the who, it's about what's happening in front of my chart. Okay? And the other thing is, and I have been there, and I can guarantee almost anybody in this room who has tried trading has done this. It's called trigger happiness, and it's a thing. Why is it a thing? What is it? So I used to do 2-hour sessions, trade 60 trades. Even if I was winning on those trades, I was getting creamed on the commissions. Just saying. Good traders, pro traders, 1 to 3 trades per day, that's all they do. There is no need to do more than that, because if your trades are strategic and calculated, that means they're highly profitable. That means you are going to win 90% of the time. There is no need for this stress trigger happy action. All right. because the most radical way to trade is usually conservative. And if you're going into the really big aggressive moves, chances are you're losing aggressively just the same. And the reality is small profits daily will definitely bring you big profits yearly. This is a term I coined called FOMAT, fear of missing a trade. How many people here see a trade? Maybe they just came back from the bathroom. Maybe they were distracted for a second and they see it already pass and they fear there's never going to be another trade ever again. And then they chase that trade. They catch the trade. It goes the wrong way. They lose their money. Now it's revenge trading and it's a mess. Why? Because they're fearing that there's never going to be another trade coming. It's like literally going to the ocean and thinking that is going to be the last wave they'll ever see in their life. Sounds ridiculous, right? Because the fear of missing a trade, FOMAT, it's ridiculous. So get over it. There's going to be a million more trades coming. Just think of it as the ocean with the never-ending waves. That's the amount of trades that are coming your way. All right, so I was telling you about what to trade, the different instruments that you could trade. There are literally hundreds of different, thousands, I should say, of different things you could trade. Okay, so to begin with, it's a good idea to pick the market. Is it Forex? You know, foreign exchange, currencies? All right, and if that's the case, maybe do only 1 or 2 pairs max. You don't want to go too crazy, right? Why? Because if you do, you're just going to end up losing, right? Because you cannot control what the egos of the different country leaders are going to be doing on that specific day. But maybe with the 1 pair, you could kind of work it out, right? And usually that's what it boils down to. Egos fighting one another, angering at one another, and then that money goes down or up and stuff like that, okay? Then we have the equities market. You got to love it when people are like, oh, I trade stocks. Really? There's 5,000 stocks on the US market alone. So what are you trading? The professional ones are like, oh, I trade sectors, technology, medical, entertainment, whatever. Or I just trade Amazon or Meta or Microsoft. They focus on the one, maybe small caps, maybe big caps. They focus. The same with futures, you know, oh, I trade futures. Really? So you're trading crude and you're trading the Russell and you're trading the E-mini and you're trading wheat? No, it's impossible. It's impossible for the crude and for the wheat to work the same. So you're looking at 2 completely different markets and thinking you could do the same. 1 second. All right, then we have options. Look, guys, if you're going to do options, stick to options. I don't know if it's such a good idea to be doing options, futures, and all the rest. Just choose one thing that you like, right? And the same goes for crypto. You know, when I ask people, what do you trade? Crypto. Okay, well, what do you trade with crypto? Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is 1 out of the 6,000 altcoins and projects that are going on. Really? Again, you need to focus. You need to sound professional, right? You can't go to a doctor and be like, so what do you do? Oh, I do everything. And I have an eye issue. Do I really want to go to somebody that is going to be doing abdominal work? No, you need to focus. Now, I want to talk about brokers and margin accounts because a lot of people have massive misconceptions when it comes to what these guys do. What is a broker? Have you ever been to a store where you know that the sales clerk is working on commission because they will butter you up no matter how ridiculous you look in any outfit, right? Because they're working strictly on commission. Brokers, that's what they do. They earn money from your commissions, from your trades, and they prefer you not to know what you're doing because the dumber you are, the more you're going to be losing and the more trades you're going to be putting in, right? So when brokers are talking to you, remember, that's their job. You do not owe them anything. The only thing you owe yourself is to knowing what's going on. And when the brokerages tell you that there's a perk with a margin account, so basically you have $20,000. So once you spend all that $20,000 on buying this one thing, and you also now will give you an extra $20,000 to borrow and go on margin. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, borrowing. So if you made a stupid mistake, a stupid decision by going into something you have no idea or loses, guess what? you still owe them that 20,000, and on top of that, you owe them interest. Margin accounts are not mandatory or obligatory. You say, I don't want, and that wins you right there the respect that you're going to get from the market. Okay? And if you are into, let's say, crypto, and you're on an equities platform, guess what's going to happen? Chances are they're not equipped to be able to manage your crypto positions, right? Your trades. So what are they going to do? Some of them kind of do it. They just charge you way extra with the commissions. They probably don't give you the best updated feed and quotes either. Okay? So you got to pick your stuff, guys. And like I said before, the only real software that really works is one thing only. What is that? What is it that's going to work? Platforms. Guys, get a platform. I cannot tell you the amount of people that are sitting on their phones. This is, you can't drive a car by sitting in a video game. I don't even know what they're called, consoles. You got to get in the real car. You got to get in the real vehicle. And the real vehicle here, that is platforms. All right. So let's talk about lingo. Everything in this world that we do, regardless of what you do, has its own certain lingo. I don't care if you're a doctor, an artist, a janitor, or a trader, you're going to have your own lingo. And 99% of the people that I have met don't even know the basic lingo of trading and financial markets. And then they wonder why they are not winning. Gee, I wonder why, right? If you don't know the difference between a buy and a sell, and you're putting your live market into the market, it deserves to be taken from you. Seriously. Okay? So what is an intraday trader? It's literally you're in and out the same day, right? So why is this even important? Because if I'm a swing trader and I know that a swing trader is several days, do I want to look at a chart that's 1 minute or 3 minutes? No, I want to look at a chart that's going to be compatible to what I'm looking at the time frame. So if I'm a day trader, I don't want to look at a 1 day or a 5-day trade chart. I need to be looking at the 1 or the 3 minute chart. And if I'm a swing trader, I need to be looking at the 1 day, 3 day, 5-day chart. You have to be in the right time frame. Otherwise, you're not going to win, right? What's a bull market? Market going up, bear market going down. But we also have the sideways market. And a lot of people forget about that one. And let me tell you, that's the one that gets you the most. Because sideways markets, those are the dead zones. Those are the indecision areas, the chops, right? Those are the consolidation areas, the channels. That means there's nothing going on, and you got to understand that and stay out of it. Then a lot of people overlook profit targets. They are as important as risk management. Why? What's a risk management? So risk management is when you get into your car with your baby and you actually buckle in the seatbelt versus that mental seatbelt you're pretending to tell yourself that you're going to save your baby if there's a car accident, right? Profit targets are the same. You have to put in a profit target for being a professional. Why? Because ego and greed will win over. And if you say to yourself, oh, the market's continuing in that direction, I'm going to remove my profit target. Boom, you removed it. The market hit your profit target. You would have won, but ego and greed won over. Boom, now it stopped you out. If you even have that stop, because a lot of people have those mental stops and you're out for the day and you're out. Who knows? Maybe for the year, maybe forever, because you could have put your entire account on that one. So you got to get out. And that is all done from the charts. I'm going to go back to the charts because if you don't have a chart, you could get out of the game right now. Honestly, don't even bother. Just send me that money. Send it to somebody that actually needs it because you need to be more professional. And with your charts, if it's a good charting platform, and usually there are many good ones, you get free universal indicators. Use those indicators, guys. These are my indicators. I use two. I use the EMA lines and I use the MACDs. You guys could use whatever works for you, but make sure that it works for you and not for somebody that is telling you that it's working for them. Because just because somebody's saying that the Fibonacci's was working for them doesn't mean that's going to work for you. I struggled for years thinking that the Bollinger Bands, the Kettler Bands, the Fibonacci's are working. And I stressed every time, I lost every time until I removed those and I was simply relieved because they did not work for me. Okay, you got to know what works for you guys and then you got to understand the trends. Now, what is a buy? I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's zero overthinking on this one. By going long, it's the same thing. It means you're entering low, exiting high, taking the profit in between. That's it. Quite simple, quite basic. What's a sell? Or going short, shorting the market. Again, don't overthink it. It's literally entering high, exiting low, boom, that money in between. And that's it. That is what going short is. So now you guys learned what a buy and a sell is. Now you have like super, super basics. All right. And this is important because the amount of people that are entering with market, like they're like, oh my goodness, I see it. This is when the market is going in this direction. I'm just going to hop in. You're automatically telling the market that you're a total amateur, and the market is going to fine you for that, and that's called slippage. Okay, slippage means when the market, when for instance you want to enter something that is, let's say, $1, and you enter with the market because you really have no strategy, and the market knows that because you just did a market entry, it's actually going to enter you at 125. So you already lost 25% of what you could have won. But if you put a limit order in, you're telling the market, I want to enter here and only here, and I'm the one who's telling you what to do. That's when you enter at the price that you want to enter. And you cannot also market exit because, again, the market is going to fine you with slippage. That's when you put in your stop order, your stop limit, okay? That's when you protect yourself. That's the risk management. You tell the market, this is the only place I want to get out, and you get me out here. I am not willing to put any more money. I am not willing to risk any more money on this particular trade. Simple, right? All right, let's talk about technical analysis so that you guys could stop with this useless waste of time for researching, watching financial news, and listening to these pundits just, give you these verbal diarrheas of their own agenda. None of what they say is real. You just got to go with technical analysis. And technical analysis is literally the vocabulary and is literally how the market speaks to us. That's what it is. It's literally that simple. So let's see, what is technical analysis? It's done through your indicators, right? It's where you have areas, divergences, reversal patterns. This is where you recognize what the market is doing. You listen to it. So the two main areas of the market, and it's usually where the market respects and goes there quite often, it's one, the resistance area. This is the ceiling of the market. What does that mean? It means when the market is hitting an area 3 or 4 times over and over and over again, guess what? You got to draw that in. You got to respect that. Okay? You got to put it in and know that this is an area the market is hitting. It doesn't matter how strong it's hitting. You don't know when it's going to break. You don't want to be pretending that you could predict when it's going to break. So don't put your money in. And that goes the same for the support area. That is the floor of the ceiling where the market is hitting over and over and over again 3 or 4 more times. Okay, guys? Ooh, hang on just one second here. Oh, can you just give me a second? My computer is dying for some reason. One second. Okay, that was close. Almost had a computer die. I don't understand why my battery never goes so fast, but okay, it's all good. All right, guys, I'm continuing here. Hang on just one second. Okay, let's continue. So back to the areas. Now we have the reversal patterns. All right, guys. What are reversal patterns? These are my absolute favorite. Why? Because they're so simple, right? It's the double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms. Head and Shoulders. Why are they the best? Because they're free. You can see it on any charting software. And what they do is they scream to you saying, stop, don't enter the market because we are probably gonna reverse. And you don't wanna be in the wrong side of the trend. And my ultimate favorite, and this again is technical analysis, divergence. You see here, the price action is going up. Meanwhile, my MACDs, that's my favorite indicator, is going down. What does that mean? Does it mean that the market is about to change direction, or, you know, should you go the other way? No, what it is telling you is the market is slowing down. It's losing its steam. It's losing its strength. And what are you going to do about it? You stay out. That's what the market is doing. It's literally talking to you about that. So let's put all this together. All right. Let's talk about breaking out of areas. Because if you guys understand the basics of technical analysis, you'll also know that the breakout trade, one of the most powerful trades out there, can be done if you understand, because you're spotting it correctly, right? So what is a breakout area? You have to put all that together. Breakout areas are when you're going in one direction and all of a sudden it goes flat because you just hit that resistance area, or it goes flat when you're going down a support area. All of a sudden it breaks out and continues in that same direction. If you don't have anything drawn out, if you don't have indicators, if you don't have your charting software, how are you going to know this is happening? How are you going to be able to recognize all this and then put in the correct limit order to be able to take the market? Again, you could be listening to all these pundits and moderators in chat rooms and all this other stuff. Who cares? If you don't know what is going on, it's your money on the line. I would actually like to see anybody tell me, anybody at all, who has not done any actual understanding of the markets but sits in a chat room and has won any money at all. Because I could bet the farm, not a single person, but it's easy, right? It's easy. It's like we all look for like somebody to save us, and that's our savior. So they think is these chat rooms or these alerts. No, they're not. They're not. And I'm going to be honest with you, because I'm so tired of seeing people literally just donate their hard-earned money into the markets thinking that that's how it's going to be. It's not. Okay? And save your money, guys, because we earned it. It's hard work for how we make our money. But if you actually have the knowledge, you know, you will make it. And the reality is that we have absolutely everything we need to take action, right? We do. We have all that we need to take action. Like, we know what we need. We know where to begin. We know that. But do we do it? I don't know. And even if we do, at the end of the day, how do you know that you're doing it right? Right? And because all of this is great. And then sometimes, a lot of times people are like, okay, well then how do I really get started? Like, what do I really do? And this isn't a question that I get from beginners. This is actually from traders that have been trading in the markets and are still losing money. Or they like to call themselves traders. I shouldn't say that they are traders, because they have still, you know, they are now thinking the more money I spend on chat rooms, alerts, indicators, algorithms, that's where I'll make it. But the reality is all they have to do is just literally invest in themselves and understand what's happening, and the market literally speaks to you. It's a beautiful thing once you actually just say, you know what, I think I want to actually learn the strategy. I think I want to learn how to drive a car, rather than, you know, pretending that I'm driving a car and constantly crashing. Okay, and the majority of the times, guys, it's literally just basics. It's literally the basics. I actually say very often, it's that a lot of people are putting in windows and they're constantly crashing because they haven't built their walls, right? The windows are just taking these random trades without really understanding why, and then they're constantly crashing because there's no foundation. There's nothing holding you up, and that's the basics. And the basics are really that simple, but you have to give the time to understand those basics, right? You have to understand, where is the ignition of this car? Where is the steering wheel? I know you're looking at it right now and being like, well, of course I know, but you don't know when you're first sitting there. I remember when we taught our son, who just recently learned how to drive a car, we're like, all right, he's been in a car since he was teeny tiny, but all right, we told him, all right, get in the car now, make sure you're buckled in, your foot is on the clutch, your foot is on the brake, make sure that you put your gear into first before releasing the brake. He's like, wait, brake, clutch, gear, what are you talking about? because we're not born with the basic information. But if he doesn't understand how to work that, he'll never get it into first gear and move the car, right? And that's the reality. And now I want you to go even further to understand how important the basics are, which we take for granted. Imagine somebody who has never been in a car in their lives, enters your car, and you're like, okay, buckle up your seatbelt, it's gonna save your life. And they don't know what a seatbelt is. They have no idea where it is, but all they're hearing is that if I don't do this, I'm dead. I have to, this is what's gonna save my life, right? But if nobody taught them, all you have to do is like, oh, here, this is the seatbelt right here, and you just buckle it like that, boom, their lives are saved. A lot of times we don't get this. And this was my sad truth. I spent over $20,000 on my own trainings, and yet I struggled. Why? Because the majority of them was in chat rooms, was listening to other people say that there's a trade when I didn't see it, but they just said it, so it must have been correct. Or even worse, when I was asking them questions about basics. Can you please explain to me what the divergence is or this reversal pattern? And they would completely either ignore me or treat it like I was born with that information. And again, make me feel bad about it as well. And because of that, I ended up losing almost $4,000 within 5 minutes. And that was after 2 years of losing consistently. And guess what? It made me feel like crap. I was completely defeated. And then I ended up quitting. I just couldn't manage it anymore. But here's the thing, and I know for a fact that everybody in this room feels the same way, is that we all get bit by the trading bug. We get bit by a trading bug, and it never stops itching. And do you know why that is? I'll tell you why that is. The main reason is because deep down we know we could do it, right? When I quit, I walked away for 3 or 4 months, but I was still watching some people and seeing that they are doing it. And I'm like, if they could do it, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. And that's when I decided to get back to the basics, because that is the secret that nobody shares. And it's literally just starting from the basics. And now I've been teaching for quite some, I don't know, like 5 years, 6 years already. And one of my students the other day goes to me, well, like a couple of years ago, goes to me, you know, your philosophy and teaching strategy is exactly like Coach John Wooden. I'm like, who's Coach John Wooden? I've never even heard of this guy. So of course I searched him up. And this guy was the legendary coach for basketball. He was also a legendary coach in general. And his entire philosophy was, when in doubt, get back to the basics. And I mean, this guy won 88 national championships, 10 NCAAs. He trained A-star basketball players. Yet every season, regardless of the amount of national championships or NCAAs they have won, he would start and get back to the basics. What does that mean? How to tie your shoe, how to roll up your sock, how to dribble the ball. Why? Because it doesn't matter how big your ego makes you think you are, because you've won all that. Because if you didn't tie your shoe well and you're running down that court and your shoe falls off and you sprain your ankle, guess what? You're sitting out on the sidelines. You need to get back to the basics. You need to have your foundation in place. And nobody really thinks of those little things, but that's exactly what I focus on. And today, for you guys, special offer only to participants that are here right now, I have my introductory course, Bootcamp for Day Trading, right here. Bootcamp for Day Trading. You can do this on any apparatus. You can do it on tablets, laptops, desktops, smartphones, iPhones, you name it. This is everything you'll need. And on top of it, all of this one-time fee, $97, because I'm not here to make money off you guys. As a matter of fact, my goal is for you to stop donating your money to the market. It just breaks my heart to see when it could be completely avoided. So I want you guys to go here. You need to go to your navigator right now and type in these words: bootcamp for daytrading.com. Bootcamp for daytrading.com. All right, go here right now and then you can follow along. Now, another question I have is, what do you really get for $97 today? What can you really get $97 on your return on investment today? Do you guys like to play golf? Well, I don't know about you. When me and my husband first moved to Guatemala, golf was like 29 bucks per person. Before we moved a year and a half ago, it was $119 in Guatemala. I'm not even talking about the States. I know for a fact in the States, it's like 200 something for one person. You want to take your family, friends out for lunch or dinner? Good luck, right? $97 barely buys two people a decent meal anymore. That's the reality. Okay, so again, go to your navigator right now, bootcamp4daytrading.com. Put that in. If it doesn't come up, you need to remove the S from the HTTP because Google has made some serious changes. So if it comes up with an S, remove that S. Go to bootcamp4daytrading.com. Bootcamp4daytrading.com. All right, guys. Simplify. This is all that we're getting in here. Simplify day trading package. You're going to get the whole simplification of it. 30 minutes of setting up your platform. Look, guys, I know how complicated it could be at first, the platform, and that's why a lot of people put it off. So I've got you covered. I've got the full tutorial. I have now seen almost every new software. I mean, every new platform comes through. I've been doing this for 12 years when there was like 4 different platforms. Today, there's like 30, and they all pretty much are very similar. They're all pretty much the same. And I help you guys completely go past all of it so we get to the fun stuff, which is the trading. Then we really go into the market anatomy process, right? And dissecting the process, right? That's what we go into, the whole thing, uptrending, sideways trending, downward trending, all those reversals, all those divergences. We talk about that so that there's no misunderstanding what they are. You guys get to it and it's fun, it's easy, and the coolest thing of all, it is applied to any instrument, right? We could recognize these reversal patterns. We could recognize the divergences, the support areas, the telltale signs, because this is where it all happens, and that this is all free on your software. Okay, guys? All free on your software, and that is the best part of all. So we'll get all of this, and then you could easily start to master the breakout trade, because that is where it is one of the highest probability trades out there. And let me tell you, you could avoid the fake out breakouts, because I know that they exist, and a lot of times we get into them thinking that it's a breakout when it's completely avoidable, only because it's an actual fake out breakout. I call them phobos. All right, so we go through all of this, and you have unlimited access to the curriculum. All this is valued at $1,600. Includes all of this, including the curriculum. And here's what some of my students have to say. And I have students from all over the world, because the coolest thing of all is that you could do it from anywhere in the world. Michelle, best money I spent, just finished the boot camp. Derek, only mentor that I know that truly, truly checks the work. Adrian, I am enjoying the boot camp and learning every day. But I want to go back to one little thing with you guys. Do you remember in the beginning I asked you, how do you know that you're doing it right? Because we get all this information given to us, right? We have all this at our fingertips. But at the end of the day, how do you know that you're doing it right? How do you know? So here's the thing. I am including in that one-time $97 fee, one entire month of mentorship, one-on-one mentorship, totally free, unlimited coaching with me. This way you have me to be accountable. You could ask all your questions. You will know exactly what you're doing, and having a mentor is what can take you to that next level. That I also know for a fact. And I actually also have a chat room. Okay, so that chat room, it's me sitting there. I do not hire any moderators. I do not hire any administrators. It's me. All right. And then we also go and see the live market, talk about it, and you could also share with other people in there. That's all included in that one-time price, $97 one time. Again, I want you guys to go here, bootcamp4daytrading.com. Bootcamp4daytrading.com. Go here, guys. Right now, remember, if you cannot open it, it's just because the HTTP and the S is coming out. So remove the S. That's a whole new thing that Google just did. All right, so here's what you guys will get. Everything in the course. 30 days one-on-one mentorship with me. 30 days live chat room membership. Okay, 30 days of all of that. And remember, all of this is less than the one price of a trade that you would normally do. I know how much trades are. Usually we put in between $200 to $400 per trade. This is less, and this is going to 10x your investment. But you know what? I don't think I need to explain this to you anymore. This is kind of a no-brainer at this point. You guys get it. I'm here to be able to help you because I see the money just being thrown in the market for no reason, and you could actually truly start to make money rather than pretend that you're going to spend more money on another chat room, on another indicator, another algorithm, right? You could do it. It's all in you guys. I know for a fact if I could do it, you certainly can. All right. And that's the reality. And this way you could take your family and friends out for hundreds of these dinners. But I just want to do one little quick thing. Because of my mentorship, because of my coaching, I only have space for 25 people, and this room is full, and I usually sell out pretty quick. So I'm just saying, because of that one-on-one mentorship going on. All right. So go here right now. You could go to bootcampfordaytrading.com. This is the order form that you guys are going to see. And as you can see, it's a one-time payment. If you really need to do a payment plan, I have one 2 times for 59 bucks, but you still, the second you do one, you automatically get access to the entire course and working with me. So go for that. Okay. So let's go here together. I know there's a couple of questions. What trading platform do you use in the instructions? I have several, Mark. So you do you. I have students that have all charting softwares. So here's the thing. I am not affiliated with any software because I don't believe that's a business that the software should be with. If I'm a teacher, that's not my thing. What I do is I teach you how to drive a car. So if I'm your driving teacher and we're sitting in a Toyota and you own a Mercedes at home, you're still going to be able to drive your Mercedes. It's the exact same thing with platforms. So I will help you whatever platform you have been working with. And if you need help, I'm happy to tell you what is the best for the instrument that you want to work with, right? Because a lot of times, if you're going to be doing, crypto, you really don't want to be on an equities platform. And Chris, does your course work with? Yeah, absolutely. If you're not a day trader, absolutely. Because it's not, that's what I was saying before. It's not about the platforms. I mean, it's not about the charts, it's about the time frame. So if you are a swing trader, we will make sure that you are looking at the correct time frame, which it depends on the swing trading you want to do. It could be 1 day, 3 days, or if you're a day trader, you also have to be able to know that to look at the 1 minute, 3 minute, 15 minute, depends on your style. But if you don't have that, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to manage the correct time, right? And that's the most important thing. And yes, absolutely, the course handles all of that. All right, guys, let me know if there's any other questions at all. So again, you need to go in bootcampfordaytrading.com. If you are having trouble opening it, that's simply because with the HTTP, the S's there comes out sometimes automatically. Just remove it. Like I said, Google has been doing many different changes lately, and that's one of them. All right, guys. So let me know if there's any other questions and anything you need. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the course. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a super rest of your day. Thank you, Sherry, for having me.